big building on the right, this big brick building, is the MAC Club, Multnomah Athletic Club. This club is the largest and oldest athletic club in the country, built in 1891, 550,000 square feet. Inside is a big swimming pool, there's hot tubs, salons, spas, saunas, boutique shops, restaurants, offices, classrooms, conference rooms. Built in 1928. The women have kept this club beautifully preserved over the years, and it's a favorite wedding venue, both indoor and outdoor weddings in the city of Portland. Although you have to be a member to have your wedding here, or your parents do. Neither club is exclusive to men or women. Anybody can join either one. However, there are income requirements to join this club. The neighborhood up here is Kings Heights or Kings Hill. This neighborhood was founded after the city of Portland learned how to pump water to the Unfortunately, in the 1920s and 30s, the apartment complexes went up destroying many of the views. But the homes are still very historic and beautiful, even without the view. Jefferson had just completed the Louisiana Purchase, and the Oregon Territory was part of the package, but nobody knew anything about it, if it was safe here, if there was anywhere to live. I mean, you know, it could have just been barren rock for anybody knew. So Lewis and Clark's job was to explore, survey, and map the area, and then report to Thomas Jefferson what they found. So they reported that yes, there was good farmland, it was safe here. The Native Americans were very hospitable, and there was good, safe passage across the mountains for the wagons. They hired a guide. On the left is a statue of the guide they hired. That's Sacagawea. You might remember Sacagawea from your history lesson. This is the same person. Sacagawea, you can see in the statue she's pointing west with her right hand, and then she's carrying a baby on her left shoulder. The baby was born on the trail just before they started out, and they did give her 3 or 4 weeks rest after that baby was born before they made her start the expedition. That was probably the first recorded maternity leave in history. Now they did not think much, Lewis and Clark didn't think much of her husband, Charbonneau. He was a French trapper. He was also married to a couple other Native American women, and they didn't think much of that either. But they considered him excess baggage, and in order to get Sacagawea to come and guide them, they had to bring Charbonneau along with them, and he wasn't very nice to her, and he wasn't really an asset to them on the expedition either. Lots of notations in their journals about Charbonneau and the nuisance he was. On the left, this magnolia tree is just in bloom. Look how beautiful those blossoms are. They're like dinner plate sized. The blossoms only last a few days. Those weren't here last time. Well, I've been off for a few days. Last time they were there, now they are. They probably were not. Very beautiful though. We're heading for the Rose Garden. The Portland Rose Garden is the oldest of 24 international rose test gardens in the U.S. It was established in 1917. In addition to roses, there's hydrangeas on the left, there's fuchsias, there's more hydrangeas behind, there's hostas. Those are all shade loving, so they get this morning sun, but in the afternoon when the sun isn't finest, they get all shade right there. There's also rhododendrons up here. There's camellias, which are done blooming for the year. There's these Japanese lace leaf maples on the right. These are a very popular landscaping tree in Portland, mainly because they're a contrast to the tall green trees. They're just a mounded red leaf tree. The rose garden is 5 acres. There's over 500, close to 550 varieties of roses. You can see on the left some of the roses here as we go by. Georgiana Pittock from the Pittock Mansion founded the Portland Rose Society in 1895 by inviting all her friends and neighbors to show their best roses under tents on her front lawn, and many of the people, members of the Portland Rose Society, volunteered to prune the roses in the garden. The Japanese garden is up the hill on the right-hand side. It costs $9.50. It's also 5 acres, very peaceful and serene. On the left is the office where they keep records of the roses. There's restrooms in there, and under that hydrangea that grows over the entire roof lives a garden gnome, and he's the leader of the garden fairies that work their magic, keeping all the gardens here at the Rose Garden and watching them part. It's so beautiful. So this is the stop for the Rose Garden and the Japanese Garden.